Welcome, everyone. Happy Father's Day. This is Let's Be Telepathy, a podcast about getting to know people, communication, and trying to find out the deeper questions that we have not asked about in life. So, we are here today with a few people, and we are going to start right away with Chrissy and Mason. I know he's been a little excited to talk, and tell us what's going on with you two.
He's been sick for like about 11 or 12 days. Today he seems so much better. He still was coughing a lot overnight. His nurses were concerned about a possible pneumonia, but instinctively I was not feeling that it was pneumonia, but he's definitely sick. But he's right now, he like the last like hour he's been much better. So I don't know if he's just excited to be here or what. But you can, tell me what if you don't mind, tell me what he's thinking, if there's anything that I can do to support him through whatever this sickness is. Oh, you're muted.
I do that way too often. He said that there was a sickness in his blood that had to pass through,
Okay.
and that it was making him feel very lethargic. He had a lot of pain throughout his body. Muscles were more tight, nauseated, just feeling more fatigued. But then he said it would cause so much um, instant pain that he would also sometimes he would be maybe sleeping and then he'd wake up in shock or just kind of sit in his chair in shock because it hurt. um the pain was going through. It's not completely cleared yet because he says that it is still in his blood.
Something intuitively told me that he would be feeling better by Tuesday. I don't know what it was, but I know that's like a odd timeline. But
Right.
um, so I mean, I'm not expecting you to give me like dates or times or anything like that, but that it was like I heard him say that in my head that he's going to be feeling better by then. And I try to do a meditation and sort of let him come to me. And his nurse actually told me like you need to take him to the hospital. And I was like, I need to figure out what he wants. And he intuitively, I heard him say, I do not want to go to the hospital.
He does not like that so much. Tara, you have your hand raised. Do you want to I don't know if you wanted to talk to Chrissy and um Mason, or if that was something that you want to ask for them
Yeah.
later. But there we go.
I'm so sorry. My cat jumped on the keyboard and turned the hand on.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know if you had something to say for that. Okay. Yeah, so he's saying that it is something that that is moving through the blood that I was asking, is this something that you need to go in for immediately? And his answer was no. I'm asking what can support this though. Um, he is pointing to echinacea, so maybe that herb might help a little bit. I don't have my phone with me. Let me see if I can do
Yeah,
that.
where can you get something like that? I've never heard of that.
Let me even see what it does too. Well, you can get that on for sure. You can get that on Amazon. Let me see what the
Okay.
benefits are going to be. Um, oh, perfect. It says supports the immune system and helps fight off infection. Stimulates production of white blood cells, which are critical in fighting infection. Um, it helps the body produce interferons, which are proteins that help fight off infection. Yeah, this looks really good. Helps with acne, eczema, itching, boost
Oh, wow.
collagen. Yeah, helping with viral infections. anti-anxiety, antimicrobial, helps regulate blood sugars. So it looks like it does a lot, but that's what he's pointing to. So that might help you. Anita, go ahead.
I just wanted to say echinacea is really widely available. Like even our Walmart has it. If you get a tea, they have like a lot of them different available. But if you're taking any kind of immunosuppressant, you just have to be careful with it. Or if you have any autoimmune conditions, because it does boost the immune system. So if you are trying to dampen your immune system in some other way, it can be an issue. So just be careful. So, but it's available lots of you can get it in teas really easily.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And thanks
Thank
for
you
that
so much.
disclosure. Sorry.
I wanted to ask you also about something. It was like a couple days before the previous Zoom call that happened, and I just wanted to see if you can confirm on your end, like if it actually was me telepathically communicating.
I was gonna say that, jump in before you even finish that sentence, and he was gonna say, yes, she's been telepathically communicating with me.
Okay, okay,
Um,
cool. Okay.
and he's seen you in your dreams. He says that you're starting the astral projection and you're starting to be able to be more lucid with your dreams, remember what they are, and interact with your dreams. And so dream state is where he's coming in also. Um,
Yeah, he actually came into my one dream. It was probably like 2.5 weeks ago, like just before he got sick, a couple days before he got sick. And I was in this really intense dream, and he literally came in and said, "Help me." And I went into his room, and he was in a lot of pain. And I was like, "Did you?" And I literally went right up to his face, and I, in my head, said, "Did you just wake me up out of my dream?" And he smiled really big. Like, I was like, "Wow, that confirmed it for me." So, yeah, that was cool. So I
yeah,
just wanted to see from your end if, if he was confirming that, but clearly he
absolutely.
was. Yeah, that's cool. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job. He says if you ever want to tune in too, he'll tell you where his body hurts. If you just sit in front of him and he likes his arms touched. He really likes his arms touched, and he wants so I don't know if touching the arms, but I'm just seeing you sitting in front of him and kind of it's almost like you're wiping that energy off and collecting it for yourself to see where it's going. But he said he'll transfer his pain sensors over to you enough that you can feel where he's hurting.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if
And
I'm
then,
touching his arms in front of him, I'll be able to feel it.
yeah, yeah. Oh, but I know.
Yeah. So I don't know how long we'll stay for the Zoom call because if he's starting to, cough and stuff, I'll get off. I really
Yeah,
appreciate your
yeah,
feedback.
yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna give
Yeah.
him a little energy, if that's okay. And
What's that?
I said, well, we if and anybody that wants to, help just hold space and give him a little bit of energy for today. I just want to
Thank
give
you. I
him a little
appreciate
bit
that.
of this relaxation. Um, he says that touch is over, like touching things is overriding, is helping to override some of his pain that he has too. So maybe giving him things for his hands, sensory things,
Okay.
little fluffy things or something that he could hold on and touch. He wants to start um opening. He says I could use my hands more if they were opened more. So
Okay.
I don't no, he wants things in him. You can put like balls or something to hold, but it'll help because he can one put that energy with whatever he's holding. Two, the sensory there allows him to override a little bit of that pain, and then three, he can get those hands working in a little bit more. He said he's lacking in physical therapy and needing more of his muscles moved,
Okay.
and whatnot. He says, I'm lacking the water I need in my body. So he must be a little bit dehydrated, but he's also showing that, like the fascia in his muscles. But he's not moving enough, and he's not getting enough water to it. So they're becoming very tight. So if you could get him a little bit extra water, and then wait like 10-15 minutes, and then try to move his body to get that water put up to that fascia so he can also detox, because there's stuff that's really stuck there. And even a massage would even be good too, for him. But he's holding a lot of that energy in his fascia, he says. And if he could get movement and water to it, he really needs a lot of that. He's also pointing to there's these facial plasma wands. And he says he wants one of those, but to rub it, to like put it on his body. He says he's missing the electrical charge. And
Oh,
so he
okay.
also needs a little bit more electrical charge, and he's pointing to this plasma might actually bring him more
You
of
said it's
that.
a plasma light?
Yeah, it's a plasma like wand.
Okay.
Um, high frequency. Let's see. I'm gonna try to look at an Amazon for you. Here we go, $28, and I'm going to put this in. I'm just gonna put this in here for you. Let's see. Okay, so I'm putting this in the chat for you here,
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
and that way you can pick that up. That's a pretty big link.
That's okay. Thank you. I
Hopefully, yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Frequency wand. But yeah, get that on him. And he says that would be good for anyone who is lacking energy or in lacking mobility. And he's just kind of putting it out, and he says every parent should get this. So it's less than
Okay.
it's anywhere from like 20 to $122. But the $28 one that I sent you, that'll suffice.
Okay.
That'll do okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm trying to see if he has anything else.
Hmm.
He wants to write a children's book.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think I had told you before that I'm in the process of writing the book, so I think that's so cool that he wants to do that.
How funny. I must have forgot if sorry.
Yeah.
He says he
I've never
wants
written a book before. It was just
oh,
kind of on a whim I did it. So
oh, I love it. That's
yeah.
usually how it
That's
comes though.
wonderful.
Yeah, he says he wants to make kids happy.
That's awesome. I love that. That's so
So
cool, buddy.
yeah. Yep. Maybe, and through the telepathy, he can maybe help you. Otherwise, maybe I'll get some time and I can help out with
I
it.
think so. Yeah.
But yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, Mason, I'll be praying for you today.
Thank
Sending you
you.
some of that energy.
Yeah.
Yep. Make sure he gets some good water, Mama.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Scott, we're moving over. Oh, Anita, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I was going to just say, I don't know if anybody's tried any of the red light therapies, but I think that's what that uses. And when I got sick and my kidneys were failing, I started using them in my kidney area, and I really felt it made a big difference. And it's helps them. So I think I don't know if there's any safety issues. I haven't had any problems, and it's been really helpful for me. So that might be something good for him. And you can get, there's a wide variety of them. There's pads, there's panels, there's, like you said, the handheld things that do it. They have face ones, they have it. So anyway, sorry.
Muted.
I'm muted again. Thank
Yes.
you. Red light stimulates electricity within our cells. So that would work for electricity also.
I know that they used it. They had a horrible cat sanctuary fire here in Long Island about a month and a half ago, and there was probably almost 100 cats that were uh, burned in the fire that they treated them with that. The most serious ones I know they use that red light on. Um, and I also know I'll provide a link later. I've got a friend of mine who's taken that same light therapy for herself, and it completely reversed all of the things that she had. It was in combination with three other things that they did, hydrogen therapy and some other things, but I'll provide that link later. I'll have to go find it. But so I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things it does is that the wavelength stimulates mitochondrial function. And it works similar in plants, where the chloroplast takes the light and turn it into energy. It is a different part of the spectrum, but I think this is the one that is more applicable to humans and to mammals. And I don't know who else, because it might work for more, but those are ones that I've seen it work on. So anyway, sorry. I'm here twice because I'm having problems with my phone. I have so much electronic issues. So that's why I'm on here twice. I'm sorry.
You're okay. You're okay. No, I think that's great. I always think with red light when we're zygotes in our parents in our mama's womb, all we're seeing is red light. I mean, in all the mammals and stuff, that's what we're growing in, is the light comes through and all we see is the red. And so I believe that red light kind of even stimulates us to go back to that pre-birth state and activate maybe cells and regrow cells that haven't been activated before. Yeah. So thank you, Anita. Share away, you guys. This is our page, our community. So don't ever feel bad about talking. We want your influence here. Scott, tell us your news.
Everybody have their carrots handy because I've got to take you down a rabbit hole that, to my knowledge, I don't know of anybody that's ever done this other than me. I do know. Well, first, let me just say you can thank a dog, a cat, a tree, and a whole bunch of beautiful consciousness from kids for what's getting ready to formulate into a new thing. Um, I know people communicate with animals. We all know that. People communicate with trees. I'm one of them, and I know that I've heard other people mention it. But the question is, have any of y'all ever heard their voice? So me, and for those who've studied a little bit about my background, is all kind of technical stuff, but one of them is in electronics and electronic voice phenomena, EVP. I've taken it to some extremes and I've never yet seen it not work. So we'll start with waterfall meditation at this wonderful waterfall. Actually, there's three waterfalls in this bowl that I would hike to go deeply meditate. And I've even had some incredible out of body travels and all that. So I'm at one of those meditations when this dog runs right up to me and buries his head in my lap, black lab. And this very recorder, picks up his voice. I go, "Oh, hello." And he goes, "Oh, hi." EVP picked up on this. Wasn't me. There was nobody else around to pick up the voice. It was the voice of the dog, the thought pattern of the dog. So just so you know, words turn into vibrations, but vibrations can be turned back around into words. That's how EVP works. So I found that interesting. I'm like, oh, so thank now enters my cat. My cat finally let me know she was ready to go. She had her final days, and I thought to take this very recorder with me when we put her down. I picked her up, thanking me for a wonderful life and a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm gonna cry if I keep on that one. So we're gonna move on from that. But I picked up the whole spirit team that was standing there ready to take her to the light, and all that I picked up on that recorder. Then add to this rabbit hole my phone. My phone last, I'm pretty sure, and I don't exactly know what day it was, but I think it was the harvest moon that I was holding sort of just a personal ceremony for. And there's this one tree that I walked to and from past work at that time where I was working, and I always hugged it, talked to it, I'd hang around. In fact, it was right next to a bar, so there were times where I had to like move along before the police showed up, wondering how drunk I was talking to a tree. Um, but it kind of like gotta relate. It's one of my favorite trees. And so I'm got the recorder going and I'm recording this, and I think it was Harvest Moon, but I don't know, some personal ceremony I was doing. And then I also thanked the tree for hosting the ceremony as I was standing there, and the tree responded. And I got an EVP on my phone that from the tree that was, I'm gonna paraphrase, but was surprised that I even acknowledged it and was so thankful that I acknowledged it. And so EVP from a tree. Now, let's go to Carmen's videos. Carmen has sent me, I think, six, well, at least that's how many videos I've been working on in which she's captured orbs. We had hoped to pick up a whole lot of communication with the orbs, which we did, but we also picked up at least one unsolved murder case. And that's interwoven. And this is what I find with EVP is that the spirit world is constantly talking. So the one thing, Carmen, is that while you're asking questions and all that, a lot of times there's just this whole conversation going that has nothing to do with you. And so you have that woven with responses to what you're saying, and then other random stuff, and then random people that walk in and say something. And not only that, there's layers of frequencies that I find the conversation in certain frequency bands. And so it's not straightforward. It's not so easy. But let's enter into this rabbit hole. The following conversation from one of her videos. Carmen says, "Look at all of you. There's a party in here," because she's videotaping all these orbs. They respond back, "How can she see us?" So they don't even know they're being picked up as orbs. Later in that same recording, um, uh, she said, "So fast. Oh, that was awesome." And one of them said, "What did she see?" So they don't know what you're seeing. Now here's one. I might start crying. Ending this video with God bless. God bless you. All the blessings be with you. All your burdens. I hope they go away. And they responded, "Got to pray for your tears. We all pray with you." So um so that's the spirit world interacting with electronics. Thought patterns interacting electronics. So what I'm about to announce is a thought to voice device. I believe me, I am all for spelling. I am going to be the hugest advocate. I'm starting to work with the New York Division of Disabilities next door. I'm going to, and I don't know that they're very much for spelling. I don't know. I have a feeling I may have an uphill battle on that, and I'm for spelling. But after watching the spelling video and being a part of all of y'all's community, which I love, which the kids brought me to over the past couple of years, and I've known for the past couple of years I'm supposed to build one, if not more than one device of some sort, not knowing what it was going to be. But if this can pick up thoughts of cats, dogs, trees, and orbs, why can't I build a device that a nonverbal or anybody picks up and within their energy field, their thoughts are converted to EVP that's then broadcast, thought to voice, right there on the spot. So now a nonverbal child can immediately communicate with a teacher, a parent, or whatever, and say, "Hey, I'm thirsty. I'd like a glass of orange juice, please." Or, "No, I'm completely bored with where you have me at right now. Please give me college level math." Any one of those things, but give an immediate voice. And again, I love spelling, but I can only imagine the pain of S, G, bomb, when their thoughts are already two paragraphs down, but they still got to spell out this word. And I can see, and God bless them for that. Again, I am not discrediting spelling. It is at least now a way for them to display to people that, hey, they're there, they're in there. But my purpose in life right now is to build a thought to voice device. And I see no reason why it can't be done. I have ideas. Building it's another thing. I could be days away. I could be a year away. I don't know. But making the announcement, I'm making a T2V thought to voice device um, that I hope can bless every one of you all. So.
Now, do you have the engineering skills to pull this off?
I already have a lot of stuff I built when I started working the cold cases. I live outside of the box. I can't stand boxes. I don't know how cats like boxes so much because I don't like boxes. And so I frequently take the 60,000 foot view on everything. And like I've been telling Carmen about this, is that a lot of the search and recovery teams, they're just sonar. They're only sonar, some video. And sonar is so limited in what it can see and penetrate and go. So what are cars made out of? Iron, metal. Why use sonar? Why not a magnetometer? So for $50, I bought the parts and built a military grade magnetometer that can see cars from 2 to 400 feet. But I haven't found the limit to which I can't see a car. I put one on my drone, which can only go to 400 feet, and it still sees the car. My magnetometer that I built, here's something that I haven't shared with many people, can detect human bodies because of the iron in the blood. And even a body that's decayed, the iron is still in the soil. So you'll still be able to find a body, even if it's decayed, as long as it hasn't washed away. There's all kind of, again, my purpose is to take the whole left brain I've had my whole life and now have a middle brain, I call it. So it's left and right. I can take what I know technically and so the answer is yes. I built the first Star Wars laser in 1990 to shoot missiles out of the sky. I've worked on a lot of the world's first and only of things. So God blessed me with that ability. And so I now know what I'm going to use it for. So
Good.
that's
Good.
that's the big reveal.
I like it. I like it. I was just asking because I didn't know if if there's some people that watch this and then come back and they're like, we want to help with these projects. We want to help with these projects.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So I was just asking that. So
I'll put it to you. This is the best way. Hold on, let me just answer. I should have answered it with this question, with this answer. I had a supervisor one time who refused to hire me, and about 12 days later, he called me. He goes, "I guess I have to hire you." He goes, "The vice president of the company called me and said, 'What is wrong with you? Get him back on the phone and get him there.'" And I said, Jimmy, I waited about 3 months. I said, Jimmy, I said, why in the world did you not hire me? I mean, you saw my qualifications. He goes, and I'll paraphrase the best way. He said, yeah, I'm pretty sure you made it all up, which I didn't. He goes, nobody could have had all of the experience you had. And I'm kind of like Forrest Gump. I said yes to every opportunity. And so I applied for jobs where I had no degree and they hired me because they wanted me. Um, and so anyway, that's it. Go ahead. You were going to say, Melissa.
Oh no, that was I was just wondering if you needed help with that. That was really it. Because like I said, people will watch this and then they want to help people with some of the resources
Mhm.
and stuff that they've done. One thing I would say is have some kind of and this is just what I think about that, uh a globe thermometer. One thing Veda and I have been really, so I work with Veda Austin. She is a water researcher, and her and I have been working very, very, very closely on a lot of different things. And one of the things that we found out that will present in the documentary when it comes out and when we've done the full testing, but just to give you a little blip, is that a lot of the telepathy that I'm doing and a lot of the ways that they come through is through the water particles in the air.
Water, what? I'm sorry.
The water particles that are in the air.
So it's interesting you say that,
So
but keep going and then I'm going to share with you on that.
yeah, yeah. No, I found the formula to consciousness, to human consciousness. I must say that. Um, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning and boom, it was just there. So found the um formula for human consciousness, and we're testing that out, but it very much so needs water. And I'll say that much. And the coherence around it too, because not only are we going to be testing people um, and trying to see if this formula is correct, but we're also conscious coherence checking. So checking outside of the body and whatnot. Water and water is just very, very, very much a great conductor, not only of energy, of memory. It is how I feel that they're coming through at this point, and in diving really deep through it, it's photons, light emission, plasma excitement, as well as that. But excitement then gathers the kinetic energy then bounces off, and then now here we have orbs and stuff that are in plasma water fields, um along with the electromagnetic energy and whatnot that's going. But I just want to offer that to you, that if you have if you're doing this device, somehow include where where it can pick up on that water, or temperature, or the humidity, or something like that, because you'll get a better read. My brother and I have been working on a different device, and that device, and we've already made it, will pick up the frequency of literally anything that you put it on or in. And so it's exact frequency, where like I've had plant wave, but plant wave, you have to, it's 432, 440, 537. You have to put it on certain frequencies, whereas this is picking up the exact frequency as it's being played and then playing the sound. We're going to make it into a digital handheld oscilloscope too, so that we can actually see the design of what the frequency is talking about. But I just wanted to give that advice to you and anyone else out there, trying to do anything that if adding that water and that frequency might be very vital.
Yeah, so let me share with you my water experience.
Yeah.
And there's not many people you can say this to. I know y'all are a group I can, but when I hear water running, I hear voices. And I picked up on that like a couple of years ago. I would literally take this recorder, go to a cascading area, put it down, and just sit. And I hear a constant narration. And at times it's almost like they're so the Akashic records are a recording of everything that's happened in the past, but there must be some division of it that's future. And It is as if, because I've heard more than one person reading the same script, reading the same storyline to me out of the water. Okay. So like I get in the shower and I listen to it hit the drain. I can hear the talking. I sit in the rain. I sit in front of a cascading waterfall. I hear the talking. So then, like I said, I started recording it. So I knew there was something about it. I didn't know what it was, but I've mentioned it to other people. Nobody else seems to notice it, but it's there. Um, you know, so maybe that's part of our telepathic or um, gifts, spiritual gifts. I don't know that I can hear it when others can't, but I think it's there. But
It's absolutely there. I mean, water is a conscious being, for sure.
Mhm.
And we're gonna knock that out. I mean, we've already done enough research. This documentary is gonna come out and just change water's life. Very much so. It's the records of everything. It's the holder of everything, the future, the past, the now.
That makes sense. That explains it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, it wants to talk all the time. I mean, oh my gosh, we did the filming for it and she had me channel the water. I don't even know what was said. They're waiting for that.
Oh, you're back. Yay. We lost you, Melissa, by the way.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. Uh, they were like, this is too much information. You're not supposed to say it.
Yes.
No, he's
We've
saying
overloaded
it,
the
but
universe.
yeah. All right, Carmen, go ahead.
Well, yeah, just a comment on the analysis of the video. So one, like Scott, I think you can hear a lot of things people can't hear because I
Yes.
even when you send me the recordings, I can't hear what it's saying.
Yeah.
But so thank God for your closed captions. But I had one thought. As much as I want the what I'm seeing on those videos to be orbs, I do think it's possible that it could be dust or something else. But I do think that what was captured on the videos was just like a spirit box. Whenever you go anywhere, you can pick up stuff. So maybe that's what was happening, because maybe they were like, how can she see us? Which maybe I'm just seeing dust flying around, right? Like orbs. And
Right. But their energies were there because you were talking. They were directly responding to you, which is, showing that y'all were at least tuned in. Now, I've picked up EVP from all the way at the light and remotely across country and all that. So there's no such thing as distance when it comes to energy. So where you were tapping into them, yeah, maybe that wasn't them, but you were tapped into them. So
Melissa, what do you think about that theory?
Well, I feel that some of the orbs that people do pick up are definitely dust. One of the ways that I can tell is that it's not is that I ask them when I'm working with them. Well, I can see them when they come in, so it's a little harder for me.
Yeah.
If you've seen some of my videos, like especially Elsa's, I'm like, oh dang, here she comes. Oh no, she just sat down with the dog, and then okay, she's getting up, and then you'll see the orb get up. One of the things that I've noticed is that if indeed you're connecting with someone, they'll blink, they'll come slower. They, like dust wants to go like this. Dust wants to go in one direction. If you see it going like and then coming back and then coming closer to you, that's usually not dust, because dust isn't just, and not to say that it can't go all over the place, because obviously it can. But I've seen colors. Dust doesn't have different colors. It seems to be just this off-white kind of colorish, which orbs can, and people can too. But if you are seeing them and you're connecting with them, you can say, hey, I see you, can you, and then you can offer them more energy. And I'll repost the video of Elsa so you guys can see what I'm talking about, or one of Mick or somebody that I've worked with. When I say, okay, I'm giving you energy, you can actually see more light expansion because I'm offering light over to them. So that's another way that you can check, is just say, hey, I'm offering you my light. I'm offering you my energy pull from me and you'll actually see an expansion, a color change, the blink, or you'll see them just get bigger, brighter. You'll see a difference in there. I will say also that not everything that comes through us sees us, just like not everything that comes through we see. So there are different ghosts, there are different dimensional units, there are different timelines that are living and coexisting, nearly just like smaller than a speck of dust away from us. I mean, the veils are just like small, like I think of paper and whatnot, and here we would think like this was the reality, but the truth is like the reality and realms are just laying on top of each other and they're so close. Sometimes they don't see us either, so they might not respond to you. Maybe they might not see you, or they might you to them are a ghost to them as we are a ghost, as they are ghosts to us, because it's a different realm. So we don't have these physical bodies, right? So because we don't have the physical body, they see us in the light. They see us energetically, and that kind of pattern is the same as we see them. And we wouldn't be able to come and just pick them all up. Sometimes they need recognition. And so when you're saying, hey, I see you, they might be like, oh, I didn't even see you. How do you see us? Or they're so used to living in this veiled, cloaked realm that when somebody finally sees them, then it's just going, just wait a minute. Like, how do we get to see them, or how do you see us, kind of thing. And it's the same. They're just in a different realm thinking the same thing about us.
Will they, if you start to acknowledge them more, will I or anybody be able to start to see them without the camera? Or is it going to always kind of take the camera? The light, the flashlight.
I see orbs occasionally, so.
I see them as spirits. I don't see them as orbs until
Yeah.
I see them on my camera. Like that's how when I'm catching the orbs, I already have seen somebody in my room and I already noted them. And so I can say, hey, there they are. So I would assume, yes, you could see them. I see opposite. I only see orbs on my camera. Otherwise, I just see spirits in my room.
Yeah.
And the more that you get, the more comfortable with it, the more you're going to see it. So it really comes with openness and fear factor and surrendering. And the more that you're going to do it is the more that you'll open and the more that you see. And then connect to them too, because all of that, even though it's light, it is still a telepathic communication.
Harmon went from skeptic to medium in just a few months.
Well,
Congratulations.
I'm still not aware they're talking to me. So if they are, thank God I have Scott for him to tell me what they're saying, because I'm just watching the pretty lights, basically, and clapping for them, basically, right? Saying how awesome they are, because some of them are pretty cool looking.
And I do, Melissa, I do see them often as a, white vapory mist. I have seen full body apparitions standing right next to me. In fact, at one point I wanted to go get the security footage from the U.S. Post Office where one person was standing right next to me. And I knew the person, and they leaned over and said, "Does it really take this long?" And I looked over at her and I burst out laughing. And when I looked back, she was gone. But I really wish I had could get the security footage to see if the camera picked that up or if it was just an orb, you know. But anyway, so yeah, I've seen sort of all variety versions. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. I look forward to talking to you later, Scott. Thanks.
Tara, I'm glad you raised your hand. Hilarious. I was just gonna say I gotta talk to Tara over here. Your guys' the energies that's just being pulled. Tell me what you need from me, and let's do some channeling too.
You're muted, Tara.
Thank you.
Open this.
Open the skunk. Well, one thing is related to Scott because me and Scott have become friends. We have a lot of synchronicities in our life, and actually Owen has been talking to Scott through messages through Spotify a couple of times, and leaving him this morning. He had a actual physical message. So it's become very special, right? Yeah. So Scott's our friend, and I wanted to let everyone know about that. Did you, yeah, I mean,
I was trying to find the ticket.
the
I've got it
ticket, I
written
was
here
gonna
somewhere,
say. So
but
the first song that he sent to him was Willy Wonka's Pure Imagination.
yeah,
And today he found, well, I don't know if you want to find anything, but
it's
but this is really cool. I mean, like there was just something about like when I first saw Scott, and this often happens with me with people, whether it's like past lives, like we just had like a quick like connection, and I got in touch, and it turns out I'm gonna be close to where he is. We're gonna get to meet in person. But
so
anyway,
on the track, and I'm very that I make them work for the pennies from heaven. I make them work for it. I run only in lane number four in the track. So if you're going to leave me some, you got to leave it in lane number four. And this was there. And when I bent over to pick it up, I then heard with this ticket, climb aboard. This was a ticket to a train of pure imagination. I heard the song play, and then I saw a train and Willy Wonka. And I haven't seen it in decades. I didn't even know there was a train in the movie. So that's why I texted Tara. I said,
well, the whole movie, if you remember, because I haven't seen the new
I
one,
haven't
but they
seen it
go
in
around
decades.
on a track, but it's in a chocolate river, and it's just that's the whole movie is them going from location to location, kind of like
Ah,
Small World in Disney.
yeah. And then the other thing that Owen shared, which is actually for everybody here, he wanted me to give it to Tara to give to everybody, is the song from Lindsay Webster, I'm Okay. And on that, if you read the lyrics of that song, that's the message for from the autist to humanity. It's very, very cool lyrics.
Boy, cowboy, happy Halloween, happy Halloween. So Owen is a minimal speaker. He loves to sing. Boy, cowboy. He's very happy, as you can hear. You're very happy right now. And yeah, and I'm spelling with him, and he's been great. I would like another level of just hearing what his mission is, and we spoke a little bit about music, Melissa, which I definitely think is a big part of his mission. But anything else that he can help people with, like everyone.
Oh, he was pretty active. He was coming in and out and in and out. Like, you're gonna talk with me today, right? You're gonna do this. And I'm like, yes. He goes, I'm so excited about this. Um, so one of the first things that he was actually showing that he wants, and it's just super simple, and I don't know why. He's just fascinated. He's like, I can see the whole world in it. Um, he wants like just a jar with glitter in it, almost like a snow globe, but like it's just literally a jar with like glitter in it. And he says, I can discover the world and how all the different perspectives and the perceptions work, and I can get lost in that. So there's something that's going to be activating him when he's playing with this jar that will help him consciously be more aware of what is going on in the world and whatnot. So that's just something simple, just a jar and literally put glitter in. And he's just, I just see him like looking at it. And then he says, isn't the universe kind of like that, like a jar that is full of water and glitter, and depending where the glitter stops or where the glitter is where the light hits. And when the light hits in certain areas, it causes a different perspective and a different perception of what is going on and what is happening. The truth is that everything in this world is just a jar. He's really on it. It's just a jar full of glitter, and sometimes things need to be shaken up so you can see the true beauty in that. And that's what's happening right now in this world, is that a lot of things are being shaken up. And as they're being shaken up, they're being seen in different lights. There's being seen in different ways, different avenues of things. Now, know that sometimes this shakeup, it might seem like it's a lot, but when we can look into what it's actually going to be doing, and he says that it's moving, what's what once was established into the new establishment of the sun. He says the sunshine world. And he's stuck on the sunshine, and he says the sunshine world. But when he says like the sunshine world, it's like
My tattoo. I will only get one tattoo, but it's me and Owen, and we're rising to the sun. It's like the sun is the main element.
oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, he says like the sunshine world where the sun gets to touch everything and everyone in the right way, and its energy is no longer being utilized for anything that is not within the cosmic. I'm going to say godly, but he's not saying godly. He's saying something else. But he says, into the, like I said, I'm just going to say godly. Everything that is being touched with light will be fed through the godly world, and we will. This is where we're going to be seen, where the light actually is good again, because some of the light is bad, and he says, and it's been bothering me a lot lately. So some of the lights have been overstimulating. He says, I can hear them and they are way too loud, and I would like the sunlight and the candlelight back again, and not have to hear what the lights have to say. And he's going back to kind of this sunshine world, but the sunshine world, don't think of it as though it's just sun and that's all it is. He's saying the sunshine world, and he's pointing it out at like people having fun and being outside again, loving life, having community, working together, not having these icky emotions or these icky feelings. And he said we can all, he says, we all have the capabilities to bring this world to a place of smiles. And if each of you today could just do what you can do to put a smile on 5 different people's faces, and when they smile, say, can you please do the same? He says that would bring a great sunshine world for us, because the smile brings the same. Ooh, that's interesting. He says a smile brings the same kind of light and brain reaction to a person as a sunshine would have on their face. That would be interesting to scientifically look up, because he's really showing that like someone getting good sunlight and just but somebody also getting a smile is actually equal energy. That's pretty smart, bud. Good job, Owen. I'm gonna check that up. Smile science. That's what he's gonna put it as in my head. Smile science. Let's start bringing that out. He says he can do that, and he says I smile so much and I bring so many smiles to people's faces. He says some tilt their head, but they can't help it. They have to put a smile on their face anyways when I go by, because they don't understand, but then they see who I really am, and then they just smile and go away. Smile science. I want to see what this does with the sun, because he's very much like look into this, and I can look into this and see what that is.
Oh my God, like so many things just make so much sense. Because the jar, I mean, that is Owen. He's constantly finding things like this is like a toy, but he'll just watch it and he'll just move it. And if you can have a bottle, you can't have him not pick it up and just stare at whatever liquid or plasma or whatever is in that container. And the candle, he absolutely loves candles. He absolutely wants a candle lit at night. Right?
It keeps so okay. He says yes. Oh wow. Sorry. I don't know why that hit me just emotionally like it did. He said, I keep the candle on because it keeps the bad spirits away and the regular lights don't. He said we should all have the candles lit at night to keep them away. And please tell my friends, because my friends are suffering at night and they're afraid of the dark. And the fire will transfer the spirits out. I never thought about that. Oh, you can put on, you guys can get off mute here. I love his little sounds. So, Lori, go ahead. You have your hands up. Did you have something about that or was it something else?
No, I do have a question about that. My son has been sleeping with the bedroom light on for the past 3 years. And he sleeps in my bed with me, probably for safety. I don't really know why. But as you say that with the candles, is that the same reason that he has to sleep with the light on?
Yeah. Yeah. He was saying, he says, that with like the regular lights, like the plug-in lights, he said that it's not natural light and so they can still get through. But he was saying, he says, when you put the candle light on, the heat attracts it and transfers it through. There's something that they're afraid of this firelight. He said, the bad ones are like animals at night. And if you take a torch with fire and you shine it on them and you put it to them, they back off. So where there's fire, there's not a lot of evil. And he said that's why there were so many fire ceremonies and so many bonfires and so many ancient transformations happen through the fire, because when you're around the fire, he's saying, attracts it and transfers the bad spirits or will attract it. And he says, and this is also why they lit a candle, is because it will attract the good so they can come through and transfer the energy through the room. So it will call on the good, it will call in the bad.
All right. So is that Owen's interpretation or is that what my
Owen.
son is saying?
No, that was Owen.
Okay.
Um,
Can you confirm if that's why my son wants to sleep? Because he's sleeping with a regular ceiling light on. And it's been going on for probably 3 years, maybe 4 years now.
he says with the lights off, I see more. They can't hide. They hide in the light. And when they hide in the light, I can't see them. They can't touch me because they distort in the light. He said when we turn off the light, they have so much more power. They're condensed. They don't distort. They're brought together. They're focused. And I can see them and I can't deflect them. So he is saying that when the lights are all off, that he sees more of that light. He is requesting, he says the candles will work for him too, but a plasma ball will also work because it will help distort that energy that's going through. So I don't know what the candle and safety thing is for you. So I don't know if you're afraid of it or if he's afraid of it or whatever. He goes, but he said, I just don't know if mom will let me have the candle for safety. So
I
it might be better for a plasma ball for me.
Well, I do. Owen like commonly requests a candle in his bedroom, and I have it in a very high shelf. I actually have the highest that he wouldn't be able to reach it, and it's also in a glass, like a tall, like for like wind blowing for the outside. So there are ways to make it safe because I do let him sleep with a candle, but it has to be those requirements.
Yeah. And my guy's creative and tall. So, I mean, I guess I could find a way to attach it to the ceiling. But he has no um, concept of danger. Um, so when he gets excited by something, he's going to want to be right there with it, kind of thing. But then he doesn't, in my opinion, realize like the catastrophe that could potentially happen.
Yeah. Get a plasma
That's
ball
interesting.
or
All right.
Himalayan salt. Um, that might, he says that could help too, the Himalayan salt.
Oh, yeah, we have those, the lamps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Will he use those and plasma maybe together?
Yeah, we'll have to try it for sure. And then the plasma thing that you had mentioned previously, would my son be interested in that as well? in addition to a plasma ball? He's been off probably for the
He said
past 2
yes.
weeks.
He
Yeah.
said yes.
Okay.
Yep. There is something going on with his stomach right now and his head. He's pointing to more nausea when he's eating more foods. Meat seems to be something that maybe he is having a harder time with. And then the headaches, he's pointing right here. He says, I can't, like the head keeps hurting. And it almost goes like here and then comes out. It almost feels like a bullet shot. Where was that? Where he ran? He was the one that ran.
He was the one that ran, and we've had really rough times
Where was
up and
that
down
at?
since then. What's that?
Where was? Can you? Would it be okay to tell me like just where that therapy or what town this was?
I think it's Clinton Township, Michigan. They just moved buildings. It's kind of on the border, but I think it's Clinton Township, Michigan. He was running towards Hall Road.
Hall, like HALL?
HALL, or it's also known as M59.
That's what happened. He saw something that had happened in the past there, and he was running because somebody had gotten shot in the head, and he was seeing it then, and he tried to stop. There was literally a man shot in the head there. Right when he said it, he goes, yeah, I was shot in the head the day I ran. I felt that man. And it was a wow. It was a road rage. When was this?
Oh, I believe it on that road.
4/30, 2025. This was local. I mean, this was just April 30th.
No way.
Because he said something came in like that. A rage just came in, and he was like, I didn't even know. I couldn't even see. I couldn't even see this reality. But then I just felt, and I was like, and he goes, yeah, I've had that gunshot. Like it's from here to here. I just check it up. I'm gonna put this in. What? I'm sending this in the chat here.
I think, Melissa, I just looked it up. It said driver was shot on April 30th.
No way.
Yes. I'm
Mhm.
I'm putting it in the thing here right now. He says that this energy with this person is there. He needs it gone.
Yeah, and so we tried to attempt to go to speech therapy again this week in that building, and I tried to stay calm and have no expectations, and he would not get out of the car.
No, he won't. He's stuck in that energy. Okay.
What day was it that he ran?
I'd have to look at the calendar. It was 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it wasn't that April 30th.
No, it wasn't. It was after that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
It goes back to a discussion I had on the Facebook page about earthbound spirits who are stuck because of traumatic experiences, and he needs therapy so they can move on, but he's stuck in this low vibrational level, stuck to earth, stuck in the trauma, reliving it over and over, and that's what your son is picking up on.
So how do I help him move past it? And do I continue trying to take him back to speech therapy?
Well, I wonder if he can talk to him, but he may be too scared to. But
no, he can't talk to him right now. He says that he becomes him, or he becomes it. Like
yes, so that's how sensitive he is.
So
He
can't
literally integrates the energy. Yeah.
Contact me outside of this, and let's get
Yeah.
you some help. Because
Okay, yeah, because it's been pretty up and down since the incident. He's had days that were uncharacteristic for himself as far as sleeping and being very low key, which this kid hasn't napped since he was like 18 months old. Um, and then like today, he's like very almost, I want to say manic, where he like has to go out of the house, go out of the house, go out of the house. Like he's got some mission, but he can't tell me what that mission is. And every time like we leave and we come back, he wants to leave again.
Yeah, there's like he has the guy's rage and the guy's sadness and the confusion that's stuck in him. So he can't tell the difference. It's almost like the guy like possesses him.
Took on his.
And yeah, and so that's why he said, because he's like, I didn't even know I did that day that he did it. He goes, I couldn't even see, I didn't even know, I just knew that I need, like, he needed to run from it because he felt it. And then it became that. That's why that makes sense then why you had to spiritually go in and get him, because his spirit was kicked out of his body so that this new thing could come in.
And ironically, and I don't think I said this last time, when I was running to catch him, I literally was seeing his light flash before my eyes. You know, the day we adopted him, so the day we picked him up from the hospital, all the way through, I saw his body get hit by a car and fly up. And as soon as I saw that, I lost vision, and that's when I got him. So that's, I know when my soul jumped out and grabbed him.
Yeah. Well, and his soul hit out of his body, which could be why this guy came in. So we'll have to do exactly what Scott said, and this is, I'm not the kind of ghost person, and and I'm going to come out and I'm going to call BS on anybody that says they see a ghost and say go to the light. We have a big guy, Gary Spivey, around here, and he's like, oh, I see the ghost. Go to the light. And it's like anything that could have already gone to the light will have already made it to the light. When we die, our body goes to earth. And then earth gets that. And then there's this emotional part, which is the ghost part. But then there's the spirit, and anything. I don't care if you're a serial killer, a rapist. I don't care if you were the worst person, killed everything that you ever thought of, never cared about anything once. If there was an ounce of love for a caterpillar on a tree or something, that goodness will go to spirit. And so everything else is left. So what ghosts are is literally unprocessed emotions. And so we can't just say go away, or we can't be like, oh, here's stage. All of that is actually more traumatizing for them. I actually had a church that had called me in to do an exorcism because they kept getting all of these spirits that kept coming, and they were appearing, and so many people were seeing them in different quantities and whatnot. And they were trying to drum, they were trying to sage, they were trying to lay tobacco, they were trying to do all of these American Indian things to get rid of them, and then they couldn't do that, so then they tried the Christian and the Jesus and all this, and I said, we can't do that, call Melissa comes in there, and what I'm seeing is destroyed souls. And I'm seeing like the scary things that they're seeing, where this guy was holding this girl upside down outside of the daycare door, and people were seeing this and feeling this and afraid to go in the daycare door. There was this 14-year-old boy just wailing and crying in the hallways, and there were multiple different people that were there. And so one of the tricks that I do is I offer my body safely. I've been through this process of enough time. Spirit taught me, I know what I'm doing, is I lay down and I offer a place of living for them for a bit. And I say, you can come through me if you are passing through me and ready to go to spirit. And so I'll lay down, and then they show me everything, and I get to see everything. Well, this guy that was so scary that they were trying to drum out because he was this bad guy was actually holding his daughter upside down, and he was crying because he thought he killed her. And he was very much trying to get someone to save her, and he kept shaking her, and that's why he was doing it and trying to get upside down and slapping her like baby, like the doctors do. And so when I stopped and I said, what happened? He said, I killed her. I said, how did you kill her? She was sick, and I brought her to the doctors, and the doctor gave her medication. I didn't know she was allergic, and I gave her the medication, and she became ill, and I can't wake her up. And so he was stuck in this, where we had to then say, well, this isn't her soul. This is just part of your emotional sequence that you've been hanging on to. And then was able to actually present her spirit to him. And then he was able to say, oh, okay, and you just did what the doctors did and give him grace. And then he left. The 14-year-old boy, his dad had been through a drug addiction all of his life, left some out, and the boy one day had a bad time. He's like, well, heck, this is how my dad deals with it. Overdose, didn't mean to do it. Now, all of these things or beings are coming to a church because they're thinking they're going to find creator and all these people that are going to help them. And instead they're like, Jesus be God, or drum you out, or sage you, and they're trying to get them out. And so it's just building this trauma. And so now all these ghost energies are getting even more sporadic and more felt because they're adding onto that emotional trauma. So one thing that I've learned with ghosts is to come back and say, what happened? What's holding you back? And a lot of times when you hear what they're, being held back from, you can help them through it. So when we could present, to the girl and say, here she is, you didn't kill her, you didn't know, the doctors did that. And then he was able to say, okay, and release. Or the boy, I love you. We know that you didn't mean to overdose. I hear you. This is your life, that it could have, live your life through spirit the way. And then you give them a few minutes and they get to live their life very fast tracked. And then they come out. So if you're maybe seeing him and it's not him, sit down and say, I'm sorry what happened to you. I apologize that your life had so much rage or so much setbacks that you felt disqualified from love. And so therefore I want to open this space up right now so that you can experience love. You can experience a willingness to be with you. And a lot of times that brings them out of their sadness, out of their rage, out of other emotions. And then now it can be released and go into spirit. Ghosts need to be counseled. They don't need to be shooed away. They need to be talked to. They need to be affirmed, because all it is anybody having a bad day, and this is how I see death. And this is why I try to live my life so good. Because what I see in death, and I do a lot of death doula, and I've been with many people when they pass and energetically help them pass too, is when I see them taking their last breath, they're going through everything that they've ever been in their life. Anything that they were ever upset about, they chronologically go through it, like, oh, someone took your comb in seventh grade and you got mad, or somebody beat your butt, or you got a divorce, whatever it is. They go through all of it, and then they say, is this you? Is this what you want to hang on to? Is this the real you? And now also, this is anything that anyone else has done onto you. So if somebody made me upset, or anything that I had done onto somebody else. So if I had made somebody else upset when they pass away, or I pass away, I get that karma. So we're stuck with that. And those emotions can't be released unless descendants recorrect it, or unless somebody figures something out, maybe a murder or something, maybe, oh, well, mom wasn't upset about this, I just found out it was this. So it's a change of thought processing. But what it is it's whatever worst emotion or worst day you have, and you haven't got through it, you're just reliving it over and over and over. Now, this is why ghosts come at the same time, same place, they do the same things, because they're literally stuck in that same routine until they get out of it. So if somebody else picks it up, then they want to live. And that's essentially what your son did, is that he gave a place of living. So now this thing can live, but it doesn't have the right. So you as a mother say, no, you can't be here. This, isn't your home, but I wish you well. I wish you whatever, and talk to him as much as you can, so fully, and then say, I will offer you a place of love so you may pass through. And it's just like talking to, anyone who's having a bad day, when you can just help them get into a better mood so that they can go out of the house and be in a better mood. That's what we really want to do with ghosts. And it's so pertinent. I wish we had so many ghost counselors right now, because there's very few places that you go that you're not seeing people walking through and tripling over ghosts, because there's so much unresolved trauma. And it goes back to, Mick and a lot of them were saying, is that everyone's trying balance now, like, oh, the good and the bad and whatever. So if I can do a little, I can yell at you, but then I can go be nice later and it makes up for it, right? Like, no, we have so much trauma. We have so much drama and emotions that aren't even ours, that were left from the previous people, that we don't have time for the bad anymore. We just only have time for the good, because it's not about individual balancing. It's about the conscious balancing. And if there's one person, let's say every single person in the world was happy, but the one person was sad, none of us would have the full capabilities of being completely happy, because we are a shared consciousness. So we have to make sure that the people around us are cared for and taken care of. And even if we want to turn against them, even if whatever, and this is where I say, pray for your enemies first. Pray for them first, because the moment that you pray for your enemy, it softens your heart, but it will also soften them. And instead of throwing rage at them, because if you're mad at somebody and you're throwing rage at them, everybody's going to feel it. Everybody's going to feel it, but maybe not everyone's going to know where it comes from. And you're throwing that rage at them. Now you just infected rage into yourself. Now you just infected it into the universe. It's not just yours. So if you can pull that back somehow, and you can say, hey, it's not that bad. You're making it better for the whole, and making sure that that person doesn't pass away, and now you need to deal with that later on either.
So with him constantly wanting to leave the house, does that person have a mission that needs to be completed, that we're essentially trying to do?
I mean, yeah, you can always say, where do we want to go, and kind of, try to follow him out. I like what, Monique had said, is if you're going to do that, I really like the wrist thing, too. So he just doesn't run and go from that guy's mind and just go to where he wants. So then that way you have some kind of control. But yeah, I mean, the guy wants to do something. He wants to live. Bring him out for a day of living, and then say you have one day of living. What do you want to do? And then you need to leave. But leave
It's
peacefully.
the first thing we ask when we engage a spirit that's come to our team is, what do you need for peace? And we let them say exactly what they need, because everybody's different. Some actually don't care about finding their body or solving the crime. Some just want something said or done or whatever, or just to be heard. Like you were saying, Melissa, sometimes just having them tell their story, they can go, there, I've been heard, and then they can let go. But it's different for everybody. So, Laurie, it's not necessarily one answer. Is unfortunately, there's not one size fits all for spirits, just like we're all uniquely different,
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm just looking for input and trying to figure it out, because the whole process for me is exhausting. I am so exhausted trying to keep him safe. And I obviously didn't know about why he was having the reaction, but to keep him safe and keep him happy. And he is at this moment getting aggressive at the times that I don't do what it is he wants to do. But he's not speaking, and he's not open completely on the letterboard. So it's like a game of charades. And I'm like, I just want to not be so exhausted all the time, if that makes sense. But I'm also coming into my own as far as being able to communicate with him a little bit telepathically. And I heard him singing a song on the radio. We were going to a doctor's appointment. And I'm like, hey, is that you? And he starts laughing and shook his head, yes. And I was like, holy cow, this is really cool. But so the exhaustion could be from that and not related to the other incident. I don't know, but
You're getting closer. I'm so proud of all of you parents on here, because I know on some kind of level, everyone that's been on here is having, and the other ones too, like the autism telepathy page that they're running, it is amazing. And the more that people are getting on these and experiencing it, I think just the experience brings some cognitive memory back. And you guys are, I'm loving it. So many different people are connecting on so many different amazing places. Hello. I am. Oh, my bestie just got here. She stopped by. I text you. I didn't know. Oh, I know. I started at noon. Yeah, you can say hi to everyone.
Hi, I'm not very pretty today. It's okay.
That's the other Melissa. She's been my best friend since second grade. So we're M&Ms. And ironically, we're outside the box, but it was funny. I gotta kind of show you guys. So we got these matching tattoos, and we made an M, but it was supposed to be an M&M. And we're such outside of the box thinkers that we made the M&M a box so that we could be M squared. But anyway, Danette, I want to come over to you because my energy since you came on has just been thriving on you. And I'll finish it. We're gonna finish up soon. If you want anything, but I want to give you some yeah. I'll be out there. I wanted to give you some time. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I just know that your energy is like pulsating. So tell me why you're here. Tell me what you need or what you want to say or just.
Yeah, well, I don't know really. That's been the hard thing. I've been watching along for ages and followed the telepathy tapes and reached out, I think, session 10 to them. So there's a Ron Davis developed programs for autistic individuals. And so we work with individuals to help them be oriented to the world. So what we offer is helping with, I guess, the apraxia that, we learned about. So at episode 10, I was like, yes, we can help. We can do this. And then the more I learned, the more I was like, oh, I don't actually think we know as much as we thought we did. And I think because Ron was non-speaking until he was about 17, so the programs are developed from an autistic individual for autistic individuals. So we have facilitators globally, and some of us haven't been fortunate enough yet to work with non-speakers. And we actually went back to Ron and said, it was really the last session where, and I can't remember who it was, said it may undo their gifts, which had been kind of the holdback. And we went back to Ron and our programs, we only work with people who are motivated to do so. And he's been quite clever. He's put things in, I think, to make it mainstream palatable. Like we have an empathy procedure. We, work on our energy and being centered and oriented to the world. So very much about bringing from that thought, well, what we call thought world, but it's a lot more, into the physical form. And so exploring what it is to be self, to recognize self as an identity. And then we go from there and explore life concepts. So we look at change and consequence and we model in clay. So we get, so it's quite gross motor skills. And I'm just thinking it would be a really good kickstart for spelling. But it's reassuring having a forum that perhaps to check in and say, is this what the individual wants to do? Because if it in any way lowers these other gifts, then, we need to be sure that, we're working with people that want to do it. So, yeah, so I've had kind of, a lot of things happening through all of it. But, yeah, it's good.
I like that. And I can just answer from people, previously in the past. There are some people that do believe that, spelling or different communication and stuff for them actually does bring their gifts down. Or that they're not able to expand as much. And that's mostly because it goes from spirit and then now we're in that human world. And then it also, I've seen it flip way where they have been so into the spirit world that when they want to do like spelling or they want to do something like that or something in this human world, it just takes so much effort but they appreciate it because it's a way that they can focus and learn how to control their body and bring it into a great.
So a big part of what we do once we can build the relationship is recognize when you're oriented to the physical world or unoriented, and you can always choose where you want to be, but it's more having those strategies to be able to be in your physical form and you do whatever you need to do. So yes, it's something. I've also had a thing. I've always thought I'd write a book, but it never felt like my book, so that popped up. So if anyone needed to use me to help with that, I'd be willing. I've been working on myself to be more open. I was a bit embarrassed because when all the hill thing came out, I was like, oh, trying to, and it didn't feel right. But I've been practicing with dogs everywhere I go. I've only had one that told me no. So yeah, they're just exploring. He was really cross. No, but I also there's a individual in our community, and I was speaking to his father. It was really it was weird. This was quite a long time ago, and he hadn't spoken. He's minimal speaking. And then I had this bug in my head. He goes, "Hi, I'm," and said his name, and I was like, in my head to him, "Hi, I'm Danette." And then I said it verbally as well, and I got that feeling of, oh, that was redundant, but I didn't. It was always stuck with me as being odd, but I couldn't figure it out. But it must have been a connection with him. So yeah. So there's lots, and so really just offering out what we do, very much more based in the mainstream, I guess. Although different facilitators will have different beliefs and what they bring. But I think we're all from empathy. Our thing is to help individuals participate fully in the life they choose, and it's just up to us. We don't teach; we just facilitate them to what the life is that they would like to live. So yeah, so that's me.
I like that. So do you have different protocols and stuff for empathy or for I'd be really interested to talk to you because I'm working right now with a school system and some superintendents in Denver, and we're trying to work on a protocol that would be really good for regulation, integration, empathy, and all of these tools that can be utilized in schools to help the children as they're going into the classes and stuff. So this might be something that might even help, or
I
maybe
think
just talking about it, in another segment.
Yes, and I think that's what drew me finally today. Also for parents. So when we're working with an individual, we also have a caregiver or parent there. So all the tools we offer to our client, we also work with our parents. So we very much get that we can all release and all get ourselves in a good place, and so very much about working with everyone around. So yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
I can pop and
I would love to get you on to just kind of expand more and talk about more about what you're doing and some of that integration, or some of that those protocols and stuff that you're utilizing. And I wonder, I don't know, just as you're talking, I'm literally looking at all of these lists that we have for the educational system, and I'm wondering if some of your processes that you're utilizing would help in some of these schools and whatnot.
So it's a global organization that we all get licensed to. So I'm actually in New Zealand. So I've also been thinking about perhaps connecting with Veda as well if she's still in the country. And
Veda's there right now. She will be leaving here later on this month, but I know she's looking for people around New Zealand and stuff. And you have a non-speaker also.
That's where my journey started, was with our son. He started speaking at about 2, and then he was obviously dyslexic, so his dad's dyslexic, and we found Davis thinking for his dyslexia when he was 6. He didn't I was quite a linear type person, so my children were going to go to preschool and do this and do that. We hated preschool. We'd scream from, the time it was a 45-minute drive. Um, so he ended up going to more child-centered places. So when he hit school, learning wasn't a thing for him. So we found Davis thinking dyslexia. Then one day he pulled out of his facilitator's bookshelf, every cat's an Asperger's cat. And she was so good. And she was just like, interesting. Take that home and look at it with mum. I was like, oh no, what now? So just seeing the difference that Davis made for our guy was huge. He made it right through to the last year of high school, and yeah, so it's in most facilitators are either parents of neurodiverse children or have been teachers. We're all drawn to it from a lived experience with Davis. So yeah. So no, my guy, and whether that's why he chose to start speaking, I don't know, to take us on this journey. It's kind of, it's been a lot.
Yeah, let's get you on. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little excited about my bestie. She stopped by, so
Yeah.
Father's Day and my son is surprising me. I feel like it's my surprise day today. My son came in
Yeah.
from Iowa also. And they did not tell me that everyone's stopping by today. So I'm really excited about that. And
Nice.
I'm selfishly gonna let you guys all go. Sorry, guys. It's usually about you, but I'm really excited for my family and my friends. So yes, I'm gonna let's see, on I believe it's Thursday the 19th, and I'll repost it. We're gonna have a special episode. We're gonna have an astrologer on, and she's gonna be talking about the astrology and what's going on with the solar flares and all of the different frequencies that are coming on, and what this means for our world, for the psychic, for the telepathic, for those that are sensitive and empathic. She had just reached out and she really wants to get on here. And I'm sure you guys, anyone can ask questions, but she just says, you guys are really going up against the lot right now. And I want to be able to tell you what you guys are going up against. So, she saw a post that I had posted about what the atmosphere and the solar flares and whatever, and she was also the one that had done my reading, so you can see that on my page also. I don't think I have it on Let's Be Telepathy, but she'll be here, and then maybe within that next 3 weeks we'll probably get Veda on here. She wants to get as many people talking about water, as many people as we can channel to get through. She really is truly advocating for non-speakers of any kind, and really the more that we dive into it, they're smarter than any AI. She'll say it, and when she said, I'm going, that checks out. They're smarter than any AI. They know it. AI only knows up until human consciousness has told them, but these guys explore everything. And so we've been getting to the depths of it. And if you have any children, especially New Zealand area, and you're watching this, she wants to channel people in her own town too, in her own area. Anybody from UK, England, she also wants to hear a lot from them too. We're kind of done with our US tour for now. But if anyone's in those areas or wants to come on here, we'll get Beta on here, and we'll get everybody asking about water. She'll be asking all the questions about water and talking about water. So we'll have those two specials coming up in the next month, but I'll let you know exactly when. I believe that we're set for it's Thursday the 19th, guys. Yep, this Thursday the 19th is when we're going to do the astrology. So that time is up on the Let's Be Telepathy, but June 19th is when we're set. So this Thursday during our meeting, we'll be going over the astrology part. Yeah, that being said, and then Danette will get you on. I want you talking about, promoting your stuff, and anybody out there that is helping this community, helping any community, bringing unity, bringing love, bringing truth. Come on here, guys. We want this. This isn't, just a one person show. This is a community show. We call it Let's Be Telepathy because we're in the state of being together, but also it's our hive, guys, and all of you matter. All your energy matters. Everything you have to say matters. You matter. All right. Everyone have a happy Father's Day and have a blessed day. See you all next time. Love you.